Good day, learners, listeners, students all over the world. For our today economics encounter, we shall be discussing about equilibrium concepts. And what do we mean by equilibrium concept in economics? We have a lot of theories or a lot of topics that we can relate to this concept. Now, however, the word equilibrium has to do with the state of balance that exists between two variables. Am I communicating? So, however, under this concept, we have equilibrium concept, and we have our quantity demand, okay, and supply, okay. Now, our equilibrium concept is often used under this theory in order to show the nexus or the equality that exists between quantity demanded and quantity supplied respectively. Am I communicating? So, however, what do you mean by equilibrium concept? Equilibrium, okay, may be defined as a state of balance between quantity demand and quantity supply, or we may say that it is the equality that exists between quantity demand and quantity supply respectively. Am I communicating? So we now proceed to illustration, of equilibrium concepts, okay. So this is the illustrations. Basically, there are two illustrations that we do normally use to represent our equilibrium concept in economics. Number one is that of the model. Is what? Model illustration. Am I communicating? So the model illustration is quantity demand is equal to quantity supply. So this is the model illustration. Am I communicating? So this is the model illustration. So there is mathematical approach to this concept of equilibrium or equilibrium concept under quantity demand and supply. Is that taken? So in my next class I shall discuss about that extensively. But this is the model, the formula that we are using. This model shows the relationship, the connection, the equality between quantity demand and quantity supply. Is that taken? So illustration number 2 is that of the graphical illustration. This is Roma figure 1, Roma figure 2, and this is graphical illustration. Am I communicating? So the graphical illustration is this. So we have our graph like this. You can see this graph. Is that taken? So we can have our supply curve and also have our demand curve, right? So this is supply, and this is demand, right? So we also have our P here for price, and we have our 0 here, we have our Q here. Now, for those of you that are writing NECO or other forms of the exams, when you come across a question that necessitates you to illustrate the concept of equilibrium through graphical method. So what I'm going to do is this. You are to draw your graph like this. You have your supply curve and your demand curve this way. Am I communicating? So, but when you get to this quantity this quantity side, make sure you didn't put your quantity demand there or quantity supply. The reason is you are having two curves on a graph. Is that taken? So in actual sense, we can see that we have our equilibrium point. This is our equilibrium point. Is that taken? So this nullifies equilibrium point. This is our equilibrium point. Our equilibrium point, or you may call it saturation points, okay? Saturation point, and you may as well call it market equilibrium points. Is that taken? So is either you call it saturation point or market equilibrium point or equilibrium point. Am I communicating? So you may be asked that what is equilibrium point? Equilibrium point is a point where quantity supply and quantity demand curve meet. There is a point of tangential a point of connection between quantity demand and quantity supply. Is that taken? So this is equilibrium point, or you call it market equilibrium point, or you may call it saturation point. Is that taken? So this is the illustration of our equilibrium concept under quantity demand and supply. Next is the connection between quantity demand and quantity supply. Is that taken? So I will actually like to stop here. For questions, observations, and comments, feel free to connect with my mail, right? juliusoluwaseun78@gmail.com. So thanks a lot, and I appreciate your listening ears. I remain your educator Julius Oluwaseun. Thank you. So in my next class, I will discuss about the mathematical approach extensively under equilibrium concepts, right? Thank you.